All right, welcome everybody. Tonight is the 27th of October, and welcome to the school committee meeting for the town of Swampscott School District. To the best of your ability, please rise and let's say the national anthem. The Pledge of Allegiance. You can sing if you want. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, let's start with community announcements. Mr. Jantis, why don't you kick us off?
I have really nothing tonight, so I'll yield my time back.
All right, Ms. O'Connor.
I just wanted to make an announcement that tonight and tomorrow night, the High School Drama Club is proud to present Christopher Durang Explains It All For You, an evening of one-act plays with 27 cast and crew members. So hopefully we can get out of here tonight in time to go see some of that. I also wanted to say I'm really impressed, and I was asking one of the coaches where this came from, but the athletic director has started a new tradition where our student athletes are honoring their teachers on the field before the game. I followed it along on social media last week with when I saw the football and the cheer doing it, and I just wanted to say I think it's really exciting, and I thought it was a really cool thing, and glad to see the teachers getting that kind of recognition, and the opportunity for our students to recognize them, I think, is pretty cool. So thanks to the AD for that. I also wanted to just give a shout out to Officer Wilson. I think, admittedly, post-COVID or during COVID and during the whole George Floyd scenario, I questioned the role of an SRO, and with limited budgets, what kind of an impact that would make in our district. And I think, Superintendent, you chose the right person, because the community that he's building and the way that he is turning that into something more than law enforcement, I think is really incredible. I was overwhelmed by his what he did recently for Ruby at Clark, a young girl who has cancer. And he organized a video and just a community shout out for her, which then in turn spurred the field hockey team, who's playing right now. They made her the honorary captain of today, and she was there for the coin toss at the beginning. And it's just, I think, an amazing way to show that this is, in fact, a small community that really makes an impact and really takes care of its own. So, good things happening. I appreciate that.
Great. Well, thank you for sharing all that. Appreciate that. Ms. Marshall.
I don't have anything tonight.
Ms. Wright.
I wanted to give a shout out to the 7th grade. I saw that video about Project Adventure, and it made me so excited that we're doing that again. I can't even, I mean, it made such an impact on me, and I did it in 9th grade, and it was so great to see those videos. And Dr. P, she put together such a nice presentation for people to see with those quotes, and it was just great to see.
That was really nice today.
Yeah.
Super nice.
Right?
In that newsletter, it was great.
Mm-hmm.
The kids' quotes were great.
Yeah, and the second thing is, on Monday I went to a PCO meeting of the METCO parents. It's always a really well-attended meeting, and I always learn so much, but what I did learn was that they're having a fundraiser, that the kids do a fundraiser to help with their scholarships and, buying their snacks for the day, and a lot of other events that they do, and things across the entire year for the kids in all grades. And so they're doing a fundraiser, and they're doing it mostly selling door to door, like popcorn. And I volunteered to help make a form so we could have this community help them raise money too. So there's a online form, Google form you can fill out and buy some popcorn if you want, and pay on Venmo, and then all the proceeds go to the METCO kids. And it's a bit.ly, it's like bit.ly and then the / and METCO popcorn. METCO is all caps, it's their acronym, and then popcorn, capital P. Maybe I'll just write it on this board so we
Sure.
can have it the rest of the time, but
That'd be great.
it's a quick one. Turnaround is the end of next week, so they want to get things delivered by
Right.
Thanksgiving. So if you get a chance,
Awesome.
support
I
Do
them.
they do this every year and we didn't know? Or yeah.
I think they do this every
Okay, we
year.
just didn't know.
And I just happened to be at this meeting where they were talking about it. I was like, oh my God, why aren't we using our community?
Yeah,
Like, our
we could be-
teachers will support you and our
Yeah.
families will support.
Oh, the flavors are like salted
Oh, this-
caramel,
Really?
There's like,
butter.
yeah, there's
I literally, I
There's like
can't,
six
I
or
can't type it in fast enough.
Oh, yeah,
6 or 7 really good flavors.
Yes.
Yeah, if you could share that,
yes.
that'd be
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, yeah.
After my section, I can actually send you the email. It's
Oh,
in
good.
here and just share it with you all.
Great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's,
All right, thank you. I actually do have nothing to add on the committee announcement side. And so now, public comment. I see a couple folks up there.
Trisha is our
How about the
admin.
Right, under attendance, is that 2 or 0
No,
attendees?
Oh, attendees, I can't see that. Yeah.
Can, whoever has control, could you click on that so we see who's here? Thank you, Joe. All right. So I see someone from the daily item, and Natalie. Natalie, if you want to speak. She's on my team, she's here to. Oh, all right, there we go.
Like, no.
Okay. Is there anyone else who wants to speak here in public comment? Maybe that's someone for me now. All right. Then we will skip public comments. There's no one here. Go right into the superintendent's report.
Great.
Superintendent Angelakis.
Thank you. Part of one of my greatest joys is really honoring our students. And so tonight, I honor a couple of students. The first student I would like to honor, as the committee knows, every year, the Massachusetts Association for School Superintendents, we submit a name for a certificate for academic excellence. And this year, the award will be going to Samantha Andrews. Samantha Andrews is an impressive, dynamic, and talented young woman whose accomplishments span from the classroom to the community. Samantha is #1 in her class with an unprecedented grade point average of 107.56. Wow. She has excelled in the most rigorous courses we offer in every subject, including 10 AP classes.
wow.
Her greatest love is science, and she plans to be a neuroscience major in college. She will pursue a career in medicine to become a doctor. To further her experience in the field, she was a research intern this past summer at the University of California, Riverside, and the Bourne College of Engineering. In that position, she conducted organic and electrochemical experiments in Dr. Valentine Volev's lab to develop bio-inspired solar systems, and is listed as a co-author on a paper being published.
Wow.
I'm just in awe right here. Outside of the classroom, Samantha contributes to our community in a variety of ways. She is a 3-season track athlete for all 4 years and is the captain of the cross-country team this fall. In addition, she is a 4-year member of the high school band, playing clarinet since she was young, and recently also took up the tenor saxophone and trombone. Samantha performs in our concert band, marching pep band, jazz band, and woodwind ensemble. Through all the facets of her activities, Samantha is a leader and a role model for her classmates. We are so very proud of all that Samantha has accomplished and look forward to celebrating her future successes. Come on down, Samantha.
Wow. Oh my God, so impressive. Fold over.
And this award says, oh, I'm going to have to stand by the microphone, sorry. Certificate of Academic Excellence, having Samantha Andrews, having duly qualified under the standards prescribed by the Massachusetts Association of School Superintendents, is hereby awarded the Certificate of Academic Excellence, in witness whereof the seal of the association and the signature of the Superintendent of Schools are hereunto affixed. Congratulations.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome, you're welcome.
Mom, you must be
I
overwhelmed.
know.
What an accomplishment.
That resume already.
Right.
Right.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness
Crazy.
gracious. Next, we honor two students for a letter of commendation. The letter of commendation signifies your designation as a commended student in the National Merit Scholarship Program. Your high selection index score places you among the top 50,000 students who entered the 2023 National Merit Program by taking the 2021 preliminary SAT National Merit Scholarships qualifying test. You are among about 34,000 commended students nationwide who have shown exceptional academic promise. Although you're no longer eligible to continue in the National Merit Scholarship competition, your performance on the qualifying test was outstanding, and recognition as a commended student is a credit to you, your parents, your families, and your high school. So congratulations once again to Samantha Andrews and Jad Ubala. Come on down.
Wow.
Take a picture of this one too.
So smart.
I know.
Congratulations.
Are you guys are seniors?
Congratulations, Jad.
They're seniors?
Sure. Seniors? Thank you. Just, Jad, would you like to say anything?
Thanks for the accommodation.
Well
Maybe
done,
you'd
guys.
like to know their plans.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, so if you guys have made a decision, what are you looking at?
Come on
for?
over here and use the microphone so Mr. Willett doesn't yell at me.
First, on behalf of the entire committee, congratulations. It's an amazing accomplishment.
Amazing.
So have you guys decided on college for next year?
Not yet. Just in the process of applying right now.
Okay, fantastic.
I'm in the same case, yeah.
All right.
So we heard neuroscience. How about you, Jad? What do you?
Biomedical engineering is what I'm interested in.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. The
Awesome.
future is bright.
Couple of
Yeah.
slackers.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you, guys, so
Are you
much.
guys looking-
Congratulations.
Are you looking at schools close by, far away, mixture?
For
You
me,
don't even know
a
yet?
mix.
Yeah.
Next year, yeah.
That's so awesome.
Well, I wish you guys
It's very exciting
all the
time.
luck.
Yeah, wow, it's very exciting.
Congratulations. It's really exciting.
And thank you for being here tonight. It's nice to honor you.
Thank you guys very much, ladies.
Thank you again.
Next item on my agenda is my recommendation for the Director of Finance. As we all know, our current Director of Finance, Martha Seibert, is leaving us on December 1st. We wish her well, and she just celebrated her 4-year anniversary here in our district. But tonight I bring to you a familiar face for some, and somebody I'm really excited to have here. And I offer my recommendation of Ms. Cheryl Stella Herrick as our, or Herrick Stella, I said it wrong, as our new Director of Finance, who would begin on January 23rd, 2023. I do want to tell the committee that Ms. Seibert has worked with her next community Andover to help us bridge the gap between December 1st and that January 23rd. And I've spoken to Cheryl about possibly a transition program for them to work together before Ms. Seibert leaves. So I open it to the committee. I know John and Glenn, you had an opportunity to meet with Ms. Stella. And if the other committee members, if you want to open it to some questions,
Sure.
I welcome that.
So I'll just start that, first of all, congratulations and welcome to the district. Incredibly excited to have you on board. Your CV was great. You had a great interview. So welcome. Again, just to refresh everyone's memory, John and I did meet last week, and we're excited to have you on board. John, anything to add?
I would just want to add, I think it was, even though it was a Zoom call, I think it was very productive, very collegial. And I thought everybody felt very comfortable with one another, which to me is always a good sign. So, and it sounds like, from what you said to us last week, you are going to be working, as Glenn said, closely with Martha, going into the transition. So, I guess as you move forward, again, please let us know if there's anything you need from us, and welcome aboard.
And for me, congratulations, and I'm looking forward to working with you on the school building committee, and hopefully you have Martha's tenacity.
Yes, please.
We need someone who's not scared of that OPM. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm excited. Excited.
No,
to
they
be-
both have that, the tenacity, they both have that tough woman quality, and approaches are slightly different, but
Yeah.
same toughness.
Yeah, that's.
And results the same.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
You happy? Are you happy to come back to Swampscott?
I am. I'm very excited. It was unexpected, right? But I was like so happy to be able to have this potential opportunity to come back. I think I had mentioned in my interview, but I always kind of tracked Swampscott because we were starting to talk about the school when I was on the town side. And I've always, kind of kept an eye on what was going on in Swampscott. And so I'm so excited that I can come back here and be a part of that project and that process. And, a lot of the people that I worked with when I was on the town side are still here, so I'm very excited to be working with them. I know I'm being left in really good hands by Martha. She has some really big shoes to fill, but I can't wait to come back.
Super.
Great.
Yeah, no, I think it's exciting, and I mean, I would have faith in Martha's recommendation and Ms. Angelikis's recommendation, but also, we have worked with you in the past, so, that there's a leg up right there. So, no, I think it's great, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Ms. O'Connor?
I mean, I couldn't add anything to the process because you guys have done a great job, obviously, of vetting, and obviously we've worked together before.
Yeah.
I just want to say, Martha obviously has big shoes to fill, but I know that you're up for the task.
I am.
And I want to acknowledge the fact that I think that we're in a very different position, and kudos to you, Superintendent, because there was a point when we were going through new business managers a lot. And it's a very difficult position to fill.
It is.
So the fact that we have Martha, who as I said before, I so appreciate your professionalism and the fact that you gave 90 days notice, and the fact that you are transitioning this role leads me to believe that, this just, that things are going to be really good. Yeah. So, I got a couple of phone calls when people heard that you were leaving. I was like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And I feel like we're in a good position. And so thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you for, for carrying the torch the way that you are, and for you for offering an environment that people want to work in. So
Thank you. I'm proud of the work that Martha's done, and the way you're handing over the budget, whereas what Martha inherited was nothing like it looks now. And so thank you for all of that. You know how much I value you and your skills and the work that you've done, and it makes me settled knowing what's being passed off, and it will be a smooth transition. So congratulations.
Thank
Welcome
you.
aboard.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all.
yeah, there's not a lot that the school committee has a whole lot of power over, but obviously the budget being primary. So this is the piece that gives us the most agita, I would say. And so it's nice that this is a very steady transition. So look forward to having you.
Thank you. Look forward to it.
Back to you.
Great. Again, welcome aboard. Everyone
Thank
looks
you.
forward to meeting you, and give just a real shout out to you, Superintendent. I thought you did a really excellent job of doing the search, teeing up John and I to meet with candidates, and I really appreciate that.
And I appreciate the time you took, so it goes both ways. Thank you.
Great.
Number 4. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Vote not, doesn't say that here, but okay. So you asked for a motion?
Yes, so,
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Good to have an audience.
She was just trying to model.
Right, I know. Right. Wow, that would have been awkward. I will make a motion to approve the contract to our new business manager,
Director of Finance.
Director of Finance, excuse me. May I have a second?
Second.
Okay, let's do a roll call vote. Mr. Johnson?
Yes?
All right. Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Ms. Wright?
Yes?
Ms. Marshall?
Yes.
I will vote yes as well. It is unanimous. Now we can say welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Martha.
Thank you, Martha.
We debated that
I
a
know
lot.
we did.
We've debated it for a very long time, so. The next item on my agenda, the next three are coincidentally are related to budget indirectly. And so number 4 is the withdrawn students report that you all have in your packets that are linked to the agenda. And if you look at this report from July 1st, 2022 to October 12th, 2022, the total withdrawals we have had in the district are 129 students. They are broken down by schools, and so in the absence of it on television, I'll read through them. At Clark, we have 1 that transitioned to homeschooling, 2 that transitioned to in-state private, and 17 that transitioned to in-state public. At Hadley, we have 1 that transitioned to in-state private, 10 that transitioned to in-state public, and 3 that transitioned out of state. At Stanley, we have 7 that transitioned to in-state private, 6 that transitioned to in-state public, and 1 that transitioned out of state. At the middle school, we have 11 students that transferred in-state private, 24 students in-state public, 8 students out of state, transitioned out of state. At the high school, 1 dropout with plans unknown, 2 transitioned to homeschooling, 14 transitioned to in-state private, 16 transitioned to in-state public, and 4 transitioned to out of state. Out of district, we had 1 student. I would ask that you keep in mind middle school private and high school private are, very much impacted by St. John's Prep. Going, now that they have a middle school level as well, I could get those numbers broken down of how many went to St. John's Prep, how many went to St. Mary's. We typically have I think at one point in the year, I give a more in-depth report, but just a reminder that in-state public could just be that they've moved to a different city.
Right.
So we have about 129 students that left the district.
Does, when they go to charter, is that in-state public?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I would love to see this stacked against the number of kids who are coming in. Only because I know anecdotally that we got a lot of kids coming back from private school and from the charter school.
We do, and truthfully, transitioning my executive assistant, I feel like in the past, I'm providing this as well as the registration information.
Right.
And typically, they're very even.
Yeah.
And so I will go over the October 1 enrollment report, which is next, and you can see, I think we've gone down by 7 students. But the next document you have in your packets is something that I've included since I created the position of data specialist within my office. I'm not going to read it to you, but I am going to talk to you about, for the people that are watching, the state reporting. State reporting, since I came into this position, and even years ago, actually I would say since I've been superintendent, the amount of state reporting that is required has grown tremendously. And so for October 1 reports alone, there are 3 reports that are submitted. One is SIMS, the Student Information Management System. We have EPIMS, the Educational Personnel Information Management System, and then the SCS, which is Student Course Schedule. But if you go into that paragraph that talks about Sims at the top, there are 52 student data fields per student in the district. And so there was, on our listserv superintendent, somebody asking, does anybody have a data specialist within their district? And so I think a lot of districts are behind us in creating this position, and it's really a full-time job. So in that report alone, there are those 52 fields. In the EPIMS report, there are 38 staff roster data fields, 17 work assignment data fields, so it's a lot of data and very time consuming. And then in the student course schedule, it says 13 data fields, and this goes all the way down K to 12. So even course schedules have to be submitted for our little students, but our younger students. But this is truly a full-time job, and as you all know, Chris James is in this position, and in terms of her Aspen knowledge, her Aspen training, I'm not sure, I shared this at school committee, but in addition to the state reporting, we've gone paperless with absences. All the staff now submit their requests through Aspen, and if they go directly to their supervisor, if it is an exception in terms of trying to extend a vacation or trying to extend a long weekend, they get elevated to me. I have to approve them. And what's most relevant, I believe, is when they go in to do this and it's approved, their accruals show up. So there is no chance that somebody is going to overuse. It will not allow you to use an extra personal day.
Good.
It will not allow you to use an extra vacation day. So that's another responsibility that Chris James has. She's always learning and always developing new ways to improve our systems. But this is, October 1 and June are very, very busy times for her, because then the error reports come back. And anyone in data knows when those error reports come back, it takes a lot of time to sort through them. So what I have for you next that is linked is the enrollment report. It says 9:30, so the October 1 enrollment report. And I have brought past years as comparison. I didn't make copies for the committee because I just wanted to have the information handy. So if you look at the far right, the totals, so pre-K we have 61 students. At the elementary we have 716. So although we're building a new elementary school for 900, we're well under that 900 right now. I'm not saying that enrollment's not increasing, but right now that's where we're at. At middle school we have 618. At the high school, we have 641. So in district, we have a total of 2,036 students. Out of district, we have 35 students. Services only, we have 3 students, so our total enrollment is 2,074 students. Now, if you go back to June of 2022, our total enrollment, you don't have this information, our total enrollment was 2102. But the in-district enrollment was 2036, and we're at 2061 this year. So really, that's a little bit of an increase.
Can you just say those numbers again?
Wait,
Sure.
not at 2061.
I think you might have said it backwards.
This has total as 2036.
So that's for, right, and you're right, so last year in June, we had 2061, so we've dropped
Okay.
By 30.
Right, by about that many students. If I go back to October 1st of 2021, we were at 2,041 students. So then we're only 5 students off from where we are now.
Right.
Now, there have been some discussions. My team and Mr. Fitzgerald's team met this week to talk about several things, and one of them, his questions were ESSER funds and ARPA funds and the October 1 enrollment, because I do believe, it is the town administrator's responsibility to be following enrollment. However, what I cautioned Mr. Fitzgerald is that pure enrollment numbers don't dictate whether we cut FTEs, because the data I brought for you is our increase in special education over the last several years. The increase in special education, it's not about the numbers, it's about the need, is what I explained to Mr. Fitzgerald, so that even though a data person could say your enrollment has declined, therefore your FTEs have to decline, we have more students on IEPs that require additional services, that require additional staff. So it's not a one-for-one.
It's not a ratio.
And don't we
Right.
have a bigger kindergarten this year than we've had in years
We
past?
do have a bump in kindergarten this year. Instead of 5, we have, no, and actually, instead of 7, we have 8 kindergartens, which is a whole class increase. But I had Chris James, as a matter of fact, pull some information for you. And if I start at, I'm going to go back, and I can email this out to you, but if I go back to December of 2020, we had 25 students ages 3 to 5 that were special education. Ages 6 to 21, we had 323. That was in December of 2020. If
Say that again, 300
323 special education students ages 6 to 21. Ages 3 to 5, we had 25 students.
Almost 400.
If I come to October 1, we currently have 31 students ages 3 to 5. That's an increase of 6 students. And we have 379 ages 6 to 21. So the increase has been dramatic. So budget being one of your major responsibilities, I caution us going into budget season for FY24 to not be pressured by the enrollment decline, but the needs of the students, and that was the conversation I had.
Okay.
So I think, and this isn't even talking about how severe those needs of those students are, but that's a dramatic increase.
My math skills are awful. That's like 15%, right?
I was just doing the numbers, I wasn't doing the percentage.
Approximately.
Yeah. Not to mention the other, just interesting,
And,
Um,
sorry.
students that, English learners arriving in the United States in 2020 was 24, and in 2022 for October 1, it's 33.
Wow.
So, our EL, we're talking about how our demographics are changing, how many languages we translate everything into. This is a huge increase from 323 to 379, and I think we have to be very cautious of that.
I know that this is stuff that requires a lot of information, but I'm wondering if when the Director of Teaching and Learning comes, if she can talk a little bit about this, maybe along with Martha, like if this is COVID-related.
But there is one other thing that I want to tie to the budget, I forgot, because this is going around now, and we've been asked by the Mass Association of School Superintendents and Business Managers to reach out to our local legislators. So OSD, this just came across my desk, is the Operational Services Division of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Executive Office for Administration and Finance. They have set, very recently, a 14% inflation rate on private schools, special education schools. 14% going into FY24. It says that the OSD's recent determination, the estimated rate of inflation for FY23-24 has been set at 14% and consists of 2 components, a 5.18 cost of living adjustment and an 8.82 workforce stability factor. 14%. In comparison, I want to read to you that in
Yeah, well, our budgets are going up by 2%.
That's
And
crazy.
so listen to the pattern. I'm not going to read you all the years of facts that I have. And again, I will scan this and get this to you because it's an interesting read. In FY19, the increase was 2.33%. In FY20, 1.63%. In FY21, 2.72%. In FY22, 2.26%. FY23, 2.54%. FY24, 14%. What this means for us too is with over 5% COLA, we're going to be losing people to go work at these private schools because they're going to be paying much more than we're able to pay. So what the Mass Association for School Superintendents was asking is that we reach out to our legislators and communicate our outrage.
I'm not sure I understand so this is the
Their tuition rates are going to increase by 14%, when we might have budgeted 2% increase.
So, in other words, the places where we may be sending special education
Correct.
students that we're outsourcing.
That we put into our estimates as 2% or maybe a 3% increase are going to be 14%. Where are we going to find that money unless the legislators step in and say, this is not okay?
You can't do that, right?
Is it- Oh, I'm sorry, Susan.
No, I was just thinking like the lobbyists that are fighting for this, it's like a crazy, doesn't even make sense, yeah.
Like,
Well,
who could
but
do
at-
that?
At the same time that you think, well, but it does make sense because of how, we know how expensive it is, and that those raises that they have had have not been enough, but that's happening only in one small piece of the market as opposed to,
Well, then do it gradually.
right.
To jump from 2.5% to 14, how are we going to do it?
So they're gonna get raises of 14%.
They're going to get raised, the two components of 5.18% cost of living adjustment, and then an 8.82 workforce stability factor, which
Because there's teacher shortages.
a conservative estimate of the fiscal impact of the calculation is a whopping $92,807,590.
I mean, I can't begrudge the teachers that are getting that kind of a raise, but I do begrudge the government that is
I begrudge
offering
the
this.
fact that we've estimated a 2% increase, and now
Yeah.
where we're coming up with 12%.
Yeah,
We're
Right.
going into,
It's already an unfunded mandate practically, and now it's,
so I'm going to send you this document. It came in earlier this week. I think I just got to it today. I do want to scan it and share it with all of you so you can take a closer look at it. They do recommend writing. They've given us a sample letter that, to send. And so I wanted to share that with you.
I wonder if that means we should ask for a meeting with Brendan Crichton and our newly elected,
I think it's worth exploring.
So do I, actually, and being a parent who utilized the state private school, special education schools, I find it troubling, to say the least, that, again, I almost feel like they're pitting the needs of one type of student versus the needs of another type of student. And I know I've spent my entire adult life fighting that. So I find this abhorrent, to be perfectly honest with you. I think, I agree with you, Ms. O'Connor, that I don't begrudge anyone, especially an educator, for whatever they can earn. But I really think that puts public school districts, again, in this difficult situation of pitting one type of student versus another. And I know I will definitely send that letter, and if it's okay with the committee, I will reach out to our local representatives and invite them to a meeting to have a conversation, because I think that's $92 million of more unfunded mandates on top of the small percentage we would get for a circuit breaker. It's just going to, especially in this economic environment, it's almost untenable.
I would imagine that even the argument of building resources internally sort of goes out the window then, because the people that you want to hire
Are going to go
are
where
gonna
the
go
money
Right,
is.
of course.
where they're getting a 14% raise.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because my tie-in to that was having Ms. Raymond come on the 10th. She can talk about, the needs of these kids, but also talk about